We believe in putting the world on vacation, and that starts with you. Get ready to explore. Across cities, across countries, across continents. Because our world is your destination, and the vacation possibilities are endless. Own new adventures at more than 245 club resorts. Vacation beyond with RCI at over 4,200 affiliated resorts. Join more than 850,000 owner families, just like you. Your story starts today.
I'm Sharon Wilson, publisher of Resort Trades. As you may know, for the last 30 years, Resort Trades print edition has been mailed to every timeshare resort in the U.S. We've been ARDA members since its beginning, even back when it was National Timeshare Council. So we're thrilled today to have with us ARDA's new chairman, Michael Brown. Welcome.
Thanks for the invitation today. It's great to be with you. And thanks for being loyal members.
You're welcome. Thank you. So today we're delighted to introduce Michael Brown, Travel and Leisure Company CEO and newly appointed ARDA Chairman. And this is your chance to meet and interact with the head of the world's leading membership and leisure travel company. Travel and Leisure has a portfolio of, as they mentioned, nearly 20 resort travel club leisure travel brands. So it's really quite an extensive portfolio. So let's join us in meeting Michael Brown, learn how he handles the responsibilities of running a company that employs 15,500 associates, leisure brand. Can you provide an update of your business structure and tell us why you made that move and how it might impact your timeshare business?
Absolutely. It's been an exciting year so far. We made the acquisition of the Travel + Leisure brand in January of this year. And with that came the name, its content, 2 existing travel membership clubs, licensing rights, and the content that comes with Travel + Leisure. What it really was for us was a chance to acquire and indicate who we are today and who we will ultimately become. And if I could just concentrate on who we are today, we are the world's largest timeshare company, vacation ownership and vacation exchange. That's not going to change. It's our core business. It's what we do. We're very proud of it. And no different than before this acquisition, will we continue to grow those 2 businesses, being really Wyndham Destinations, our timeshare ownership brand, and RCI, our timeshare exchange brand. But what it now indicates of what we can do is we can become a lot more. We think there's an opportunity to operate in the timeshare space beyond simply a single hospitality name, being Wyndham. Our services of sales and marketing, hospitality, and access to financial markets are leverageable across multiple brands, and we'll be seeking to do that and grow that side of the business. As well, we believe the total addressable market in leisure travel is much larger than the 10 million timeshare households that are served today. In North America alone, there are over 100 million leisure households in the U.S. And I see there's some people in from Spain, some former colleagues, and there's a lot of opportunity in Europe as well. So the change to Travel + Leisure is to allow us to broaden our horizon to accommodate more brands and to be not only committed to the timeshare space, but growing outside of it.
Oh, that's remarkable, really. I know that Judy Kenninger had written a very nice article for Resort Trades. It will be appearing in our June issue, which we will have in time for the ARDA conference. Wanted to congratulate you, by the way, on being appointed, or I don't know if it's congratulations or condolences, but thank you for agreeing to chair ARDA for the next 2 years. And I wondered what you anticipate doing in that role to make a difference for the industry.
Yeah, well, I think it's definitely congratulations. I've been the beneficiary in both my personal and professional life of being part of this industry. It's exposed me to, different continents and a lot of great people and work. So I'm thrilled to become chairman. But I think it's very important that, as in the role of chairman, that you serve the community. And I've been working with Jason Gamble to really set an agenda for my 2 years, and that will ultimately follow to the next chairman as well. And there are really three core pillars that we're going to focus on. Doesn't mean these are the only things, but when you prioritize, you tend to get more work done. So the first is, with the changing landscape of the industry, it's really to set the mission of ARDA going forward, how we allocate our resources, how both financial and human, and where we spend our time, what we think is most impactful in the way of how ARDA can contribute to a changing industry landscape. So that's number one. Number two is, there's a lot of positive trends happening today in our industry. Leisure travel is booming back. The macro leisure travel trend is for more space, which is exactly where we are. And the shared economy is where we've always been. So being a much stronger public advocate for our space is definitely what I plan to promote, not only myself, but encouraging a more positive digital message, more press as it relates to what we're doing as an industry and how it's changed, and why we're leading the way as an industry toward the economic recovery. And then lastly, I think a sign of the times, there is a growing emphasis in the corporate world around ESG, and especially in the last year in relation to diversity and inclusion. And our objective will be just to elevate the topic as far as education and awareness of the rapidly changing trends around ESG and specifically diversity and inclusion.
Are some of the opportunities and challenges for the industry during your leadership? I know you touched on a lot just now, but anything else that you can think of that you care to share?
Well, I think it's important that people understand what ARDA is working on, because why be a member of something that feels opaque? And so that's why I wanted to be on this interview is, I think it's important that if you're a member of ARDA, you know some of the key priorities. That's first of all. But I think one of the biggest things that's an opportunity for us as an ARDA leadership as well as ARDA membership is that times have changed. There has been industry consolidation. What once people joined ARDA for is no longer the right venue. So we need to reinvent ARDA so that the member, whether it's a big developer like we have at Wyndham Destinations, or a vendor who contracts with the industry for their business's growth, we need to reinvent how we engage all the membership, big and small, to create more commercial opportunities, better access. And your comment about if 31% are going to be there in person, I hope that some of the 69% will be engaged virtually, and they see that ARDA has created a venue to get a benefit out of that engagement virtually. So the times are changing, and if conventions and industry associations don't change with the times, they become obsolete. So that's part of the reinvention of our ARDA platform needs to happen, and part of that is the engagement of those members, both big and small, to be effective and meaningful, worthy of their membership.
Yeah, well, right. And I find that interesting. Also, in our June issue, we have a phenomenal article, if I do say so, and I do. But Marge Lennon wrote about consolidation, which leads me also to my next question. What do you think is the impact on the industry of in the wake of Marriott and Hilton acquisitions of Welk and Diamond?
Yes. So first of all, hopefully whoever wants to hear about the strategy of ARDA, they're starting to hear just the first pieces of that here today, and what some of the key pillars are going to be in coordination with ARDA leadership in Washington, D.C., Jason Gamble and his great team. But as it relates to consolidation, I think I think it's, first of all, very natural. Still great non-hospitality brands out there, the Blue Reens of the world, the Berkeleys of the world, Exploria, and I could go on, and I know I've missed plenty of great companies. But my point is that with the rising brand awareness, hospitality brand awareness, what you get is this greater commitment of capital, the commitment to the reputation and connection to flexibility in hospitality companies. I think in the end, the consolidation and shift toward hospitality brands will raise all boats. I really do believe that. Yes, it changes how we work. And, ARDA used to bring, 40, 50 developers, and now it may only be 10 to 12. That doesn't mean it's any less valuable. It just means that we have to think differently. But I think the consolidation is a natural evolution in every industry. It's not just timeshare. I think the companies that are doing it have made good, strong strategic moves. And I think in the end, it will help our overall space, both from a developer standpoint and from a vendor standpoint.
Yeah, and I also think that the vendors' interest, of course, is, or fear rather, is, it's a shrinking market for us. But I think Lainey Kanehannon once reminded me that, no, the resorts are still there and they still need all the same services and products. So, no, that it's still a good market for suppliers and vendors.
Well, let's keep in mind that in 2009, the industry shrank back to $6 billion, and it's now over $10 billion of sales. Maybe with fewer companies doing it, but the opportunities are there. But I think along with everything in business is the market's evolving, companies are evolving, we're evolving, and therefore service providers, goods providers as well have to evolve with it. And that's, getting back to the meaningful connections. We have to offer meaningful connections so that vendors know what developers are looking for, and that it matters that you're an ARDA member so that you are understanding maybe better access as to what these companies are looking for.
Right. Well, last year was such a challenge for everyone. Hospitality industry was especially beat up. And what were the most important things that happened to Wyndham Destinations business that set you up for recovery, do you think, this year?
I think it's twofold. The boring part of that answer is you have to preserve your cash, and you have to make sure your balance sheet will allow you to get to the other side. Otherwise, nothing else really matters. And it comes back to a basic business lesson, which is make decisions fast, even if they're not perfect decisions. Get to where you're going quicker. And I'm very proud of the Wyndham team that really circled up in March, April time and made some really tough decisions. But it gave us the assurance that we were going to not only get to the other side, but it gave us a lot of time in the middle to actually get our business to a better place. We've completely reinvented who we are. The most proud during COVID of the way our associates rallied together and changed our business so that when 2021 arrived, we weren't picking up the pieces of a broken company. We were actually in a stronger position at the start of 21, believe it or not, than I think we were at the start of 2020. And the net effect of that is I think there's a lot of energy here that we're just off and running with our core businesses of vacation ownership and exchange, but launching into two new businesses, both on the Panorama side and our new Travel and Leisure subscription club.
It's wonderful to see how you all emerged, really, from this. And there's so much energy and initiative and in just innovation. I think it's inspiring to those of us who are certainly don't have that huge a budget. But what would you say are your top priorities for your company's team for this year, and after that, over the span of the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah. Well, I do just want to comment on what you said about budgets, because I think our success was not based. Yes, we're a much bigger company than most companies out there, but I think it was the cultural decisions that were made, meaning we made decisions quickly. And whether you're a family-owned business or a mid-sized business, if you are making decisions quickly that are well informed and trying to resolve issues, that's a skill that's applicable up and down the chain, no matter size. And I think it's tougher in a big company to make dramatic changes, and I'm just proud of the team that we did it. As it relates to what are we focused on this year, we're focused on vacations. Nothing makes this industry work more than people going and using their vacations, and whether that is our Wyndham Destinations vacation ownership business or our RCI exchange business, which serves our affiliates. If people get on vacation this year, as we're seeing in March, April, and May, people are happy. Everyone's ready to get back to living a normal life. And the best thing that we can do is get people on vacation and fulfill our core business on the ownership and exchange side. The business will take care of itself as long as people get on vacations, because we know how much people enjoy it once they do utilize their ownership. As it relates to 3 to 5 years, we'll continue to concentrate on that core business, but we want to begin accessing the non-timeshare market. And if you reference back to what I said earlier, that's 90 million households in the United States that the timeshare industry doesn't touch. And we believe with our exchange services the capabilities we already have in our RCI business, our core competencies around accumulating travel, white labeled travel clubs.
Well, that kind of leads into my next question, was what are going to be some of the innovative things you're going to do related to sales, marketing, management, product development? And do you anticipate adding new products or services? So that's an excellent segue, I guess.
Well, look, innovation is very difficult. It's easy to say and hard to do. We're trying a lot right now. I think COVID has given us a chance to relook at how you could do virtual sales in our teams. We're testing about 3 to 4 different programs right now on how to do sales in a non-traditional way, meaning not through a typical timeshare tour. As I mentioned, we've reinvented our resort operations and hospitality areas. But I really think as we go forward, the market is changing so rapidly. The product innovation piece, yes, we have some ideas. I'd rather not get into details on this.
No trade secrets.
Plan on launching. Well, everyone will get them when we offer them, which will be soon enough. But joking aside, the needs that we think are going to be there in 2022 may be completely different. And more than anything, we're trying to create an ability to be flexible, both with technology and with our thinking and our ability to move quicker to get to market to new products. And, beyond the perennial timeshare sales, I think there are a ton of products that are out there available. We've already launched an online booking platform called booktnl.com. I've shared that we're launching the travel subscription business with Travel + Leisure subscription club coming in a few weeks. And as I mentioned, we've already launched our B2B Panorama Travel Solutions, which we've already had a number of successes on that front. So innovation should be a constant, but trying to predict it's not the easiest thing.
Well, you've got a great team too. I long admired everybody on your team, and I did want to ask how RCI is evolving, because I've long admired that company.
Yeah, I think there's not been a more quiet transformation than the one we've seen over the last 3 years at RCI. It's always been a great exchange business. Its business is serving its customers, serving great customers like Hilton Grand Vacations, Disney, Berkeley, and Holiday Inn, just to name a few. That they're in the business of customer service, and I think they continue to be a great, hopefully, service provider to those companies. But that business, when we acquired a local company called ARN, which provided more opportunities us to create inventory availability, not only to our exchange members, but outside of our space as we possibly can. But we think there's more that we can offer and start offering a lot more under this Panorama Travel Solutions umbrella that allows us to tap into a much larger addressable market, both in North America and in other parts of the world.
Wow, that's so exciting. So what do you see as the best tack the timeshare resort industry can take to overcome challenges such as the negative impact of these exit companies? And I know as ARDA Chairman, you'll have an extra inside look at what ARDA is doing to overcome.
Well, let me just first share a few narratives that I think have been unfortunate that we've let other people define for us. At Wyndham, we have 80% of our owner base that it's fully paid off of their ownership, fully paid off. Of that 80%, 98% stay in their ownership year after year. But if you're listening to the radio or the internet, you'd think there's a huge line of people to leave the industry, their ownership. It's just not the case. So I think we need to be a little more honest with the market and not be afraid to tell the facts that people love their ownership. It's why the timeshare industry is recovering at the speed that it's recovering today, coming into Q1, into Q2. And I think we need to tell the factual and positive story that is timeshare, and not be driven by what other people are saying, because candidly, whether it's the facts that show that it's not the case that there's a long line of people looking to exit their ownership, or the fact that in many of the regulatory environments or litigation that's going on, it's being proven time and time again that the narrative is being created. But when you really dig deep, it's not really there. So I think we should stay positive and share the positives of the industry and not be shy to do it. I think we've been quiet about the strength of the industry for too long, and the way we're coming out of COVID as an industry, the retention in almost every single timeshare company that's out there of their owner base, even through COVID-19, is a huge endorsement and advocacy for the value of our product and the people that the reality that vacation is not a discretionary item. It's the fact that beyond health and economic means, it's probably the third thing that people need more than anything, which is free family time or leisure time to relax and rejuvenate, and that's what we offer.
And to connect.
All
the health experts, Dr. Oz and everybody say, that's part of, besides sleeping and your diet, that's the determinant of longevity, is connecting. So I think it's important. I did want to observe also that, Diamond always is doing such a stellar job in taking on some of these exit companies, and we welcome their news releases to reprint and resort trades. And I wanted to encourage your team to share with us as well, because I think it's I know you all are probably pretty active, and we appreciate you.
Yeah, we all have our different means of communicating it, and I think more than anything, as an industry, whether, as you said, Diamond or Holiday Inn or any of the companies that have held people accountable to their statements with regulatory agencies, to really just create a fair environment, because people do leave ownership all the time. People do exit ownership, and that's okay. It's not near what the narrative says, but our stance as an industry should be that they do it responsibly and with a reputable company that could ultimately fulfill their promises. And that may be Wyndham through our certified exit program, or it could be a third party company that's doing it the right way with realistic expectations.
True, very true. Do you have any anecdotes or interesting stories you'd like to share? Perhaps you care to describe a particular experience that helped shape your outlook on business, and maybe have a humorous or instructional story, put you on the spot.
I've had a few humorous stories throughout my career for sure. I don't know. Maybe I'll share two examples. One is just, I guess, taking the road where the road takes you. Interesting enough, when I graduated from school, my first three jobs I never got. I was always the second choice, and being the second choice and not getting the job I wanted took me to another job. It brought me into the industry because I didn't get the corporate job I wanted in my first finance role. In my second job, they asked someone else to go on an assignment to Europe, and she couldn't go at the time, so I was their second choice, and I was able to do it. And throughout my career, I've let the opportunities come to me, and not been afraid to take a chance. And so I guess my first example would be, you never know where the road will take you. Just be open to where it does, and wherever it does, embrace it. My 10 years in Europe was probably the best 10 years of my life. The people I met, the cultures I experienced, the wife that I eventually married, and the kids that were eventually born there. And had I not been open to that, none of that would have happened. So that would be first. I think second of all, I've run two different projects. I've run actually more, but two different projects in my career. And they were the two most difficult projects that jobs I've ever had. And I used to, well, I won't go down, make it a long story, but the fact that they were so difficult taught me throughout my career that there is nothing that's impossible to overcome. There is always a solution. It's just how hard you're willing to work to find it. One of my pet peeves, if we want to get into that, is sitting in a boardroom or a conference room or in a one-on-one meeting and someone's telling me what's wrong. I'm like, that doesn't help. People that walk into meetings with a solution and have put in the time to find it, those are the people that ultimately make it in their careers. They're the people you want to be around. People who identify problems are, 9 out of 10 people. It's that 1 out of 10 that you really embrace and see the spark in their eye, and you just want to be with that person. So take chances and find solutions. How's that? I could have done that in 5 seconds and I made it.
Well, I think you illustrate.
By the way, we have 1,000 job openings, so I'd love to be at 16,500 tomorrow. But with so many associates, the stories you get to hear from either associates or customers that totally change your day, and it can come from the strangest of places. Invariably, that's what makes my day go up and down. It is a job, but I have the pleasure of being at a level where you almost get to hear stories from our operations in Australia or Europe or, our RCI team in Indianapolis. There's always an incredible story out there that gets underappreciated, and I get to hear a lot of them. I had an owner write me this morning telling me about their 2 years away from retirement and how they want to spend their retirement with Wyndham. And it's like, sort of makes my day or makes me want to come in. So, that's
what you're a really people person.
I don't know. There's no question I'm an introvert, but it's the satisfaction of that is, it just sort of makes it all worthwhile. I mean, it could be in any industry, but in the one that we're in, seeing someone say, "I love to come to work," or "I love to work for Wyndham because," it means a lot. And I don't think people realize when they send me an email that is, they think they're taking up my time, but it's the opposite. It's sort of the juice that I'm looking for. So, anyways, that's what I would say.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So, where are you going on vacation this year?
Well, that keeps changing. It's my wife and I's 20th anniversary, and we went on our honeymoon to the Maldives and our 10-year anniversary. So that's where we were going this year. But things have changed, and we're not going to. So my next vacation is actually June the 10th. She's from Spain, so we're going to be going over to Catalonia and Barcelona and Menorca and having a family holiday before my eldest goes off to college. So I'm really excited about that because I love the food of Spain. I love the culture there. And I'm actually excited to get on a 10-hour flight. How's that after COVID?
Oh, I know. And the art museums. I know, El Greco and all these others that you can see.
We were speaking last night. We've done Gaudi in Barcelona, but we're talking last night to go to the hometown of Dali.
That'd be exciting.
So we're super excited about that, and it's part of the beauty of different cultures and different lifestyles. It's really, to me, a lot of the richness of what we do. So exactly. So I just saw a question pop up from Marge. The short answer is yes, and I won't get into all the details on this, but yes is the answer to Marge's. What are we going to be offering shorter term product? And not only on the vacation ownership side, but also on the travel subscription side. The plan is for it to be a monthly subscription into the Travel and Leisure membership club. It'll be think of Spotify, think of Home Fresh, Costco, monthly membership, access to exclusive content, and value-driven benefits. So by being connected to the magazine at Travel and Leisure, when you see in the September edition, I don't know what's going to be in the September edition, but a trip to Branson, then we will be able to connect to that article and offer similar travel benefits that you just read about, convert that inspiration into an actual activation. So that's the extreme of short. Well, nightly rentals is the shortest of term. Then you'll have subscription and keep moving it up to ultimately a short-term product and then vacation ownership. So our ultimate goal is to have something all the way along each aspect of that spectrum so that we can fulfill our mission, which is to put the world on vacation, not just the timeshare world.
Oh, that sounds very exciting. And while we're on the topic of Marge, by the way, she, I believe, is in the process of writing an article for Resort Trades about short-term or alternative innovative products. So Great. She may be hitting you up for an interview.
Super.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Great.
Well, I think we've come to the end of our time. Wanted to thank you very much, Michael, for joining us. It's been really amazing what you guys are doing out there and your team. And thank you to our attendees as well.
Hi, I'm Sharon Scott Wilson, publisher of Resort Trades. We have been bringing you free videos in the hopes that we can help solidify the timeshare resort community and provide you, vacation ownership professional that you are, with some useful information. So when you hit the like button or share or comment, you're helping yourself too to be more integrated into the community, helping others get to know you. So be an influencer, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when we post a new video. And thank you. Good luck.